Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany
and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows
like Dawson's Creek, One Tree Hill, and more.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany.
And I'm Cynthia.
And today we're talking about the season finale, season 4 finale, which is season 4, episode 21, title All of a Sudden I Miss Everyone, air date June 13th, 2007, and the synopsis is
Dan must face the harsh consequences of his decision to murder Keith as Karen and Haley's pregnancies complicate the lives of Nathan and the graduating seniors of Tree Hill High. Lucas wrestles with his post-high school options, and Peyton and Brooke prepare to spend the summer in Los Angeles together. So we start off with everyone walking with Haley to the ambulance. And Karen was revived, but is still being treated. And Deb dials on her phone to call, or not call, but text Lucas.
Is that weird that they all just ditched their graduation?
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like they were toward the end of it, but yeah.
Because think about it. You can't go in the room with her.
Mm-hmm.
So you might as well finish graduation.
Yeah, they just walked with her to the ambulance, yeah.
Yeah, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, so you're missing your graduation, like the ending at least.
I mean, I think her speech was the last thing.
Yeah, but you still had to say, and the graduating class, and everyone throws their caps in the air if they want, and all, like, there's still some things you do after.
Yeah, we'll probably take them a second to regroup anyways after that, so.
I will say that's going to be something that nobody will ever forget.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. If somebody went into labor at graduation and be like, oh, whoa.
Mm-hmm. And then Haley's speech that she wrote down falls to the ground when she's wheeled into the ambulance.
And Brooke picks it up.
Yep. And then Dan goes to the doors of the police station.
Oh my God, that was so, oh my God. Like how he said it. That my name's Dan Scott. I killed my brother.
Right.
Whoa.
Yeah. I mean, I think everybody knows who he is, but yeah.
Yeah. But I was just like, I mean, the fact that he turned himself in, because think about it, he thought he was getting away with it, and he was. And he still would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for himself. Because think about it, Lucas needed proof to go to the police. He already went to the police. They didn't believe him. So, and Deb doesn't have proof. So nobody has proof. So he would have still gotten away with it. It is nice that like his own karma was coming back to him and nobody really had to do much.
Right.
Like think about it. You know how many people, like how many murders there are and they don't have a conscience that, they at least care about. It's like they just live their everyday lives. It's until people go and prosecute them. That's when, they have to face the consequences. But Dan didn't even have to do that. He turned himself in.
And then Karen's being wheeled into the OR while Haley's being wheeled into the hospital, and they pass each other briefly right in front of the OR doors.
Would that really happen?
Probably not time-wise, no.
First of all, Haley was going to just a regular, I mean, think about it. Like, people that have babies, they have them in their rooms. At least nowadays they do.
Yeah.
Like, you don't really leave your room. Like, you don't go to an OR to have your baby, like, naturally.
Right, yeah, well, she was, like, going past the OR doors, and that's when she met Karen, because she was going inside the doors, so. But it shouldn't even be on the same floor anyhow, so.
That's what I was thinking was, why would they be, like, right next to each other? Like, I get they're on different sides, but why would they still be right next to each other?
Unless it was the first floor, yeah. And then Nathan and Lucas meet in the middle, and they hug each other.
It was cute when they looked over at the other one, like, Lucas is looking at Haley. Nathan was looking at Karen, and then they look at each other. It was so cute.
And then in the OR, Karen's BP is dropping. And then just like, Keith telling Karen to breathe. And then while another doctor is telling Haley the same thing, Nathan tells Haley she's doing good, she's breathing hard. And then Lucas tells his mom to the gallery window that he's right there. But then she flatlines again. And then we go into this perturger, I can't say right now, place, between life and death. That's, very nice with the outdoor scene, with the, weather perfect. And then Karen's there in her white dress when Keith calls out to her, who's also wearing white. Karen runs into his arms, and then they kiss until Lily, about age 4, for some reason, saying yuck.
That's how old she was?
I'm guessing she looks about 4 at least, yeah. Maybe 3, the youngest, yeah.
It was funny though. Like, okay, and here's the best part is like for casting purposes, they got it right. Because Lily is dark brown hair, which is exactly what Keith and Karen are. Like, think about Lucas does not match his parents. So it was nice to see that Lily does.
Yeah.
Also, is it weird that she's having this dream, whatever you want to call it, but they use the same little girl for Lily? Like, it's not like, because she doesn't know what she looks like, what she's going to look like. Like, you can't sit there and go, this is what my child's going to look like in a few years. She's never even met her daughter yet, and she knows exactly what she's going to look like. And then in another year, we're going to see she looks exactly like that.
Well, it was like a way to show like this was before like Lily would go to Earth. So that's why she looks like how she would, later on. But yeah, women in my family have had dreams of their kids or other kids before they've actually been born. So,
but exactly what they look like.
Well, on TV, it just makes sense to have the same girl. I mean, she's gonna come back in what, next season? Or
yeah, that's why I'm saying it's weird because like nobody knows what their kid is gonna look like. And you can think all day long what they might look like, but until you get to that point, you don't know what they look like. So I'm like, okay. It's not like, oh, hopefully she'll have, this color eyes or and then she does. Like, oh wow, that's cool. But you don't know what she's gonna look like physically and everything. But besides that factor, I do have to be critical in some parts. But besides that, I did love the scene because we finally got to see Karen and Keith together again. Normally they're with Lucas, so it was nice to see them with Lily because we're never going to see that in real life. And at least the previous seasons we got to see Lucas with them, so it's nice because that's their daughter. It's just so sad because it's like like it's just so hard because it's like you just want Keith there, like he would have been amazing with a little girl. That's the only thing I don't like.
Yeah, so then we see how Karen came up with the name too, because Lily hands her the flower lily, asking her what it's called, and she tells her, and Karen thinks Lily's beautiful, and Keith says just like her mom. And then Lily's staying against the tree and tells Karen to go over with her, meaning the side of the living. So Keith tells Karen that she should go watch over Lily. He'll wait for her.
And that's her name.
Yep. And then so Karen does go over there with Lily while Keith watches over them. And then back in the OR, Karen's brought back, and then Brooke reads Haley's speech. in front of the school sign. And as she's reading this out loud, at least to herself in her head, we see Dan walk into the cell. Automatically, like there's no trial or anything. He's just being locked up. And then Haley gives birth to Jamie.
To James Lucas Scott.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When did they figure out that Lucas was going to be the middle name?
I don't know, maybe around the time that they asked him to be the godfather, or maybe before that even.
I'm like, it's funny.
Because, that's her best friend and that's Nathan's brother, so it makes sense.
No, it's cute, but I'm just like, when? Because would Lucas really name his son after Nathan?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like if they had a boy.
Yeah. And then, Haley's having that cute moment where she's saying, welcome to the world, and tells him, Nathan's his dad. And then
big baby.
Yeah. And then we already skip 2 weeks later. And Nathan's watching a basketball game in the living room with Jamie, starting him young, And then Haley walks in, and he was also playing the rap music. So, Haley's like, where's that classical music I was playing while I was pregnant with him? And Nathan confesses that he would play old school hip hop when Haley fell asleep.
And very not pregnant.
Mm-hmm. And then we transition from Nathan holding Jamie to Karen holding Lily at Keith's grave, talking to him, introducing her to him to her.
I was happy that she went to the grave.
Mm-hmm.
Because we really haven't seen her there much. It's always Lucas or Dan.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I was happy that we saw her, and she brought Lily because that's his daughter.
Mm-hmm. And that's as close as she can get to actually introducing them.
Yeah, ever get to him.
Mm-hmm. And her middle name is just Karen's last name, Rill. Which
okay.
It sounds good for a middle name with Scott.
Yeah, but that's her mom's last name.
Yeah, well, sometimes kids have both of their parents' last names. So
yeah, as a last name, but not as a middle name.
Right. It just sounds like it could be. So just easy to make it that way, I guess.
So I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm. And then Lucas has to go check on Payne's car that's on the side of the road, but nothing's wrong with it. Payne just wanted to feel, sentimental about the first time they spoke.
That was funny because Lucas is like, there's nothing wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
That was cute. And I will say, like, this episode, it was nice to like go back to the pilot and like pull like that out. And because again, for Lucas and Peyton fans, this is where it all started.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was nice to show that like you haven't forgotten that part.
Right.
Well, some shows do. Some just, they just move on. But it's nice to bring it back. And here's the thing. Like, they're not bringing it back too much.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dawson's Creek brought it back so many times. And it was like, we've heard the story.
Mm-hmm.
Can we move on and find something else to talk about? But here, they don't make it a habit to show you all the time. Like the story, but they don't do that, which I like. Like here and there is okay, but just not all the time.
Right.
So I think they did it obviously much better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Payne's just gonna really miss Lucas. And Lucas tells her at least she knows what she's gonna do because he didn't see this other thing coming. And he just keeps telling himself that there will be some significant moment that he will know what to do. And then he asks if he can help her, and she says, yeah, does he remember when his mom was in the hospital and he asked her to lie with him and heal him, and she could just use that right now. And then Nathan mentions the big party tonight, their last hurrah seniors, and Haley asks what they're going to do with the baby. And that's when Deb pops up with like a dog plushie and others saying, cue the crazy grandmother.
Is it weird that they, like, Haley called them the baby?
No.
I'm like, you would say, what are we doing with Jamie? You wouldn't say, what are we doing with the baby? Like,
Well,
is he a stuffed animal?
no, I mean, that's what my family does. Like my great nephew's almost a year and a half. We still call him the baby sometimes.
So you say, what are we going to do with the baby?
No, I said, are we going to see the baby today? That's why I say sometimes, and my mom does too.
But you wouldn't say, but would you say, like, what are we doing with the baby?
No, maybe like with him. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's better than the baby.
I mean, he's only 2 weeks old, so he'll be called baby for a lot of reasons, a lot of times.
But it's weird for the parents to say it. Like, call him Jamie.
Yeah.
Then at least he'll know what his name is, because right now he thinks his name is Baby.
Yeah, I mean, he's still young. He'll be okay right now. And then, yeah, so Deb threatens Haley and Nathan to not call her grandma out in public, or else she'll use her gun. That's at the range and safe from the, most baby, beautiful baby boy in the world. Next to Nathan, she tells him.
So it's funny because like she was like just kidding, like about the whole gun thing, and because obviously she's around the baby,
Yeah.
Jamie, and so then they're like, like that ain't funny.
Right. But yeah, so Nathan and Haley don't want to go. They want to be away from him. So, Nathan mentions they're underage and there's probably going to be drinking and alcohol and some drugs. I don't know why he said drinking, alcohol when you could just say drinking, but yeah, or alcohol, one of the other.
Well, I just thought it was funny because like Deb's like, you're going, like,
Mhm.
and she's like, you're gonna have fun, you're gonna go, you're gonna hang out with your friends, and that she was gonna watch Jamie, and it was like, then they're like still like,
Mhm.
just because you're leaving him with Deb, and also I thought Haley's parents were supposed to come back
Right,
and
they were.
and yeah,
Maybe.
meet.
Maybe they did within the 2 weeks we didn't see them, but yeah. And then of course Deb has a joke about them bringing back her some drugs too. And then Brooke and Mouth get to the party and then Chase too. And then Brooke, asks Mouth, what's the big deal about the party? So apparently this is a party where to celebrate the computers changing at midnight to make the students from juniors to seniors. And then, Brooke's like, what happens to them? And Mouth says they're just gone. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this is a completely made up thing. I mean, like a party just to celebrate graduating would make sense, but a party where the computers change, that would be more like probably like Mouth and kind of his kind of AT or AV club would celebrate maybe.
Well, my point was, I don't understand because the moment you have your graduation is the
Mhm.
moment you're no longer you're no longer in that school.
Yeah, they probably just needed to have like a filler for this, and that's the only thing that they could come up with.
So it was just strange to me of like, this is when we're not going to, like when like Brooke and Chase are going on about how as soon as midnight hits, like we're no longer gonna be seniors and be a part. You're not a senior. You graduated high
Mhm.
school already.
Mhm.
Like once again, you just had your graduation 2 weeks ago. You're an adult now. Once your
Mhm.
graduation hits, you are done. Like
Yeah.
I don't even understand. Like I actually thought it's actually sooner than that. It's your last day
Mhm.
because you're not going to school there anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to your graduation, but that's it. It's just an event and then you're done.
Yeah,
But
they
I'm
could
like,
have. Mhm.
but yeah, the moment you graduate high school and walk down or you walk across that stage, you're done. I don't know what this is.
Mhm. Yeah, they could have had this more like before graduation.
Like their last
And
day.
yeah, and then like have what happened last episode be the end of this episode, with Karen coding and everything and Jamie being born. But I don't know, maybe they wanted to also see Nathan and Haley as, newborn parents or what, because they could have brought this over to the beginning of season 5, even for like the first 5-10 minutes maybe, and then have the time jump, or maybe they just didn't want to do that. I don't know. Maybe they just want to like have a clean cut and then start off 4 years later. I don't know, but yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. Well, also too, like, think about when we were juniors.
Mm-hmm.
Our last day, it was like cool. Because as soon as you walk out those doors for your junior year, you're technically a senior.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand this because even as, a junior, like you knew as soon as, that last class and you were done, you were a senior because you're no longer a junior.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even understand that. Like there's no clock. You like sometimes your last day might be before their graduation, but all of you guys have already transitioned into the next grade. So I don't even understand that.
Yeah, because some juniors were at this party too. So
Well, yeah, because they were all happy. We're seniors. It's like you
Mhm.
were seniors your last day. Like once you walked out that day, you
Mm,
were a senior. I don't understand this.
right.
Do you think like North Carolina actually does this
Probably not.
since they're in North Carolina?
Yeah. And then Mouth has this whole thing about his shirt looking like a blouse and, basically thinking that it makes him look gay, which is kind of shocking considering they just had Anna on the show a couple of seasons ago.
Well, and then like Brooke's like, "No, you're good," and Chase is like, "I mean, it's not that bad and stuff." It's like, and Brooke's
Hmm.
like, like looking at him like,
Yeah.
don't say that." And it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, making it worse, saying because, Mouth says it looks like he's competing in um, ice skating and, Chase says, no, it looks like you're winning it. And then, Mouth goes to find a sweater to cover himself up with. And then they also make the joke about the wine coolers too, which I don't think is a thing, but um, yeah, then Chase tells Brooke, he's going to stay out of her way so she can say goodbye to everybody, before she leaves tomorrow. And then Payne tells Lucas, maybe she doesn't have to go to LA, what do interns do anyway? Just answer phones. And she pretends to answer a call on her own.
That was funny, and she's like, "See, I know how to answer phones," and he's like,
Mhm.
you're still going."
Yeah. So it's kind of something that Payton keeps trying to find a way out of it. So it does seem like she really actually doesn't want to go, but yeah.
I think she wants to go for music or whatever
Hmm.
she's going for.
Yeah, music.
Um, but she just doesn't want to leave Lucas.
Hmm.
And let's be honest, like what she's known her whole life, like
Hmm.
Tree Hill, like, you know, it is hard to leave. Like
Hmm.
some people love it. Some people are like, I'm out of here. But
Yeah.
but you're leaving, your friends, your family,
Hmm.
your town, just everything and especially because they're in a small town. She's going to a big city.
Right.
Like you're leaving your small town vibe to go
Mm.
to a big city.
Yeah.
That's a huge transition.
Hmm.
And and so, that has to be scary, I would think.
Hmm.
Because also it seemed like when she went to Savannah, it wasn't too much different than Tree Hill.
Right.
Because it wasn't like a big city vibe like LA.
Hmm.
So even then, if she would have went with Jake to Savannah, it still was kind of like Tree Hill.
Right.
So, but here she's truly going. And like, yeah, Brooke's gonna be there, but Brooke's gonna be partying and stuff.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. And Lucas says he doesn't know what's going to be for him next. So you think that maybe he would think like to tell Payne like maybe he should go with her to LA because he can write anywhere, but like he's not talking about any school or anything specific in any location. So
he has no money. Where is he gonna get money to go to California?
well, doesn't he have I don't know. That's why I said they should have brought back the college thing around because they kind of put that up in the air because he was supposed to get some of Keith's or at least some of Keith's money, but probably gonna maybe go to split up with Lily. But yeah, I don't know.
Because I just don't understand. Because I'm like, well, no, he says where he's going. He's going where Nathan's going. Because he's going to be Nathan's coach.
Oh yeah, but that was later. Like at this point, he really didn't know. Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay. Well, I mean, he's obviously trying to decide if he's going to go or stay
Mm-hmm.
because of the whole Dan thing, the fact that he has, a new baby sister.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's torn between going and
Mm-hmm.
staying.
Right.
Because I mean, it's kind of like Dawson. Remember when he came back? It's like Lily's kind of changed a little because the babies change, So, and that's the thing is like, oh, she'll be walking or something, and it's like, well, she might be.
Mhm.
You never know, and then you're gonna miss that. So, but you say I do think he's kind of torn of what to do.
Mhm. And then Haley and Nathan get there, and Haley already wants to call Deb to check in. And, Nathan says that he misses the baby too, but they're not going to be obsessive parents. They're just going to enjoy their night together with their friends. And then while Brooke says tonight's going to suck because they're going to erase them from the computer system, Chase says, he sees possibilities in a night like this. It's her last chance to tell someone she loves them or apologize to an old friend, try something new. So, yeah, it's not like he was hinting at, saying she loves him. Then apologize to an old friend would be like Haley. So, yeah, he was like giving her hints of what she should actually do. And then they give their names at the party because apparently the person who's throwing it wants them. So when Brooke says her name, the guy says they have orders not to let her in. So Brooke asks him,
okay, yeah. So then when she says like, well, whose party is this anyway? And then you hear it's mine, and then it's Rachel.
Yep.
And I'm just like, and of course she has to say something to Brooke about her body. But I'm just like, but how do you not like you're going to a party? You don't even know who's throwing it.
Yeah, that's a little concerning.
Like, I definitely would not do that. Like,
And there's
so many horror stories. I would not.
Yeah, and the location too. It's an abandoned house, so I would, wonder who even like. I would feel like I'm going on private property or something, breaking some law.
Like we're gonna get arrested if we show up to this party.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, no, I would not do that.
Right.
So yeah, but it's Rachel's. And then you have to think too, where and how did Rachel get this house?
Yeah, was it her old house that's going to be torn down, which would be making more sense, but also still kind of
But
crazy.
it wouldn't make sense because Brooke lived in Rachel's house.
I know, like a different house maybe because her parents are rich, so like an old house they had.
So they got like 10 houses.
They could, you never know. We don't know what Rachel's parents do, but yeah.
Because I was just like, it's weird. Because at first I'm like, okay, it might be Rachel's house. But I was like, no, because Brooke has lived there. She would know. And so yeah, it was kind of confusing.
Yeah, it would make more sense if it was Nathan's idea to go there because Dan's like, well, this is an old house that nobody owns. It's going to be torn down, so you can just go there and trash it or whatever. Like, that would make a bit more sense if it was that way.
Yeah, something else.
Just because he's the mayor, so he knows everything about the town. But
I will say, I did like seeing Rachel back.
Yeah, having that closure.
For this episode.
Yeah. Yeah, because she, walks up to Mouth and they haven't seen each other since Honeygrove, which is a little bit awkward. But, she says that he's only got to leave her in a hotel room before they have sex. And, he says, what is she doing there? And she says it's a long story, but, she just missed them. And then,
here's the thing. Like,
yeah.
I can deal with Rachel, just not, every episode, Rachel. I don't need her every episode.
Right. And then Brooke, comes up saying if she hangs out with Rachel, or if he hangs out with Rachel too long, he's going to end up in Honeygrove. Then says she needs to borrow Mouth, calling him boy and friend to make him play spin the bottle. And, Mouth's like, what, are we 13? And she says, just shut up and play it. And then they go into the house and she's saying that it's stupid that they ever stopped playing the game and tells him to stop being so grumpy. And Mouth says she'd be grumpy too if a girl she had in history with just showed up out of nowhere. And just, then the bottle lands on Mouth. And of course, speaking of girls he has history with, it's Shelley who spun it.
Yep.
So Mouth just walks away and Brooke, says hi to Shelley kind of awkwardly.
So Shelley wasn't at graduation, but she's at this party?
Or prom, yep. She just disappeared and then came back, yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I don't know if the actress had something else to film at that time, or that the writers or creators just didn't see any reason to have her for these episodes. Who knows?
Well, especially because remember, she said like, "I'm leaving," as if like her parents were shipping her off again,
Right.
and now she's back. It's like
Maybe
so
maybe they did.
confusing.
Maybe they did, and then she came back. Who knows? But yeah, she should have been at least there for graduation, even if we just like saw a quick little flash of her in the seating area of the audience. And then elsewhere, Haley calls Deb to check in. Everything's fine, of course. And then tells her, can she not tell Nathan that she called him or the last time? And she tries telling Deb about the draft that Jamie likes, but she hangs up on her. And then just then, of course, Rachel has to walk up, flicking Haley in the back of the head, saying that's for, getting her soaking wet at the last party with her drink. The bitch slaps she deserved, though, and then that's when Haley throws her drink at Rachel when her back is turned and says that's what she gets for flicking her in the back of the head.
So here's the thing: like these two still hate each other.
Yeah, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, well, this ain't going away.
Rachel's happy about it, saying she's going to miss this, even fighting with Haley.
And Haley's not gonna miss any of it.
Right. And then Nathan's standing on that rooftop. Isn't that dangerous? I mean, it looks like pretty wide, but like there's no railings or anything, But yeah,
I
it
don't
seems
know.
like you're supposed to get on there with the window like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really paying too much attention to the house.
Yeah, I would just be worried people would be falling off, especially after drinking and such.
I don't think anyone's worried.
Yeah, well, I mean,
They should be, but they're not.
Mm-hmm. So then Lucas joins him, calling him, the big time college basketball player. And Nathan says small time college basketball player. And, Lucas asks him, how's fatherhood? And he says, awesome, handing Lucas a photo of Jamie. And then he asks Lucas, how's brotherhood? And Lucas says, awesome, and gives Nathan a picture of Lily. So I love how they had both just those pictures of, their son and little sister in their pockets. Because, now on the smartphone, it would feel like less sincere because, there's thousands of other pics on there already when, just a single physical photo that someone carries around with them means everything.
Well, I liked it because it was like, I love the brother moments, whether they're arguing or, having nice moments where they love each other. It's like, I love it as a fan. And so here, because it's it's the finale, I was really happy we got this moment because it's just so cute. I love these two.
Yeah, so Nathan tells Lucas that Lily is beautiful, and Lucas says Jamie is a handsome kid, looks like his uncle.
When oh my God, when Lucas says and looks just like his uncle. Like, what's hilarious is they, as in like the cast, had no idea how relatable that comment was going to be in the future.
Yeah. So
because I think that Jamie looks like Lucas.
Yeah, with the blonde hair, yeah.
And so I'm like, he has no idea. Like, I don't, because think about it. When that statement was said, they didn't know that what Jamie was going to be. So it's just funny because like we all know now, like watching, it's like that's funny. But I'm like, that's so relatable. Like the fact that in next season they're gonna be like twins.
Yeah. Yep, just following the tradition of having a son that look like their parents, color wise with the hair. And then
wait, say that again.
Just following their tradition because Lucas is blonde and his mom and dad have brown hair.
Yeah.
So just like following their tradition, not looking like the same like that.
Yeah, but Haley changes her hair every season.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, isn't Joy naturally blonde anyhow?
I don't know, but when we first met her, she wasn't.
Yeah, she was like a redhead, kind of. Like a
redhead.
Not like red, but like a brownish red.
And then in season 2, she was light, like she went light.
Mm-hmm.
It was still brown, but it was light. And then halfway through season 3, she changed it to blonde.
Yeah.
So, and then in season 5, I'm going to change it back to dark brown hair. And it's like, so I don't know what, I guess they're going to say she might be blonde. That's why Jamie's blonde.
Right.
Because Karen always kept her hair color the same, so you knew
Mhm.
what color hair hers was. But I don't know, Haley changes it so much, I would never know.
Yeah, I think Joy's naturally blonde, and that's why they had her dye her hair so she wouldn't look like Hillary.
Because I'm like, think about it. In season whatever, she goes back later.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
know.
because she had more freedom at that point to color her hair how she wanted it.
Yeah, but technically every season she changes it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I will say that they kind of all every season change their hair.
Mhm. Yeah. At least hairstyle, if anything. Yeah.
I think at the end of this, we should rank the girls' hair, like their different seasons, not each other. Because we're not comparing each other.
Right. Yeah.
But I think at the end of this in season 9, we
Mhm.
should compare what our favorites of their hairstyles were through the years and our least favorite.
Okay. Yeah.
I think that'd be fun.
Mm-hmm. And then Nathan tells Lucas they have to go see him as in Dan. And Lucas is like, what do we say to the father, the murderer? Nathan says, whatever it is, they just have to get it over with because he's tired of carrying it around and avoiding him. And then Lucas says they should do it tonight, but then they end up not doing it anyhow. But and stop running from him. And then Lucas tells Nathan he's sorry for not, or Nathan tells Lucas for saying for not believing in him, and Lucas says he's sorry for being right. And then Brooke gets a picture of Chase and a text message, read out loud to her. So I was surprised because it was 2007, so they had the program on their little flip phone to read to them text messages out loud.
They must have, but I never heard of one.
Yeah, I think we're too young to know this answer, but
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
And then so she smiles at getting the picture from Chase. And then Haley comes walking up and Brooke calls her tutor mom
Hmm.
and asks her if she's worried about the kid, and she says she's worried about her too. She's gonna miss her over the summer. Brooke tells her not to have her get sentimental because she's gonna cry. But then Haley tells her that her and Nathan want her to be James's godmother. So of course that makes Brooke cry definitely now. And
But when you think about it, because the only sister we know of Haley's is Taylor. And so when we go off of the people on the show so far, who else would be Jamie's godmother?
right.
Like besides Brooke, nobody. Like
Mhm.
because we don't know Quinn yet. So it's like, and
Right.
Peyton and Haley have had this on again, off again friendship.
Yeah, love, hate, yeah.
So the only one that's actually been consistently there for Haley and team Nathan and Haley is Brooke.
Yep. And Taylor was the one that was gonna break it up.
Because think about it. Brooke is the one that got them together in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And then, technically they could have gotten together by themselves, but she had to go and ruin it. But anyway,
I mean, she pushed in the right direction at least.
Yeah, after she outed it. But she was always team Nathan and Haley, so there
Mhm.
would be to me there's no one else.
Right. Yeah. And Brooke was the one that would try to get them back together too in season 2.
Season 2 or season 3? I think every season she's just
Yeah.
pushed them.
Yeah, whatever episode that the basketball fantasy draft was, yeah. And then Brooke says that she's gonna be good at this, unlike her mother. She says ungodly mother. She will kick ass at this, and Haley says good, as long as she doesn't say kick ass in front of him too much. That was funny. And then Peyton runs into Shelly, commenting on her leather skirt. Have we ever seen them interact before this?
Nope.
Like one-on-one?
No, because when Brooke was in Clean Teens, she wasn't really friends with Peyton.
Right.
So, and once she got out of Clean Teens, that's when she became friends with Peyton again. And so
Mhm.
Shelly was kind of the only time that they really, I guess, shared a scene, but not really, is when they were all together in that class assignment project.
Right. Yeah. Because that's what
But
Shelly says too.
yeah, but the whole class was in it. Like,
Right.
they were next to each other where you could kind of get them in a shot together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Shelly says she remembers painting from current events, so that's what the class was. Because we kept asking what it was. So
Yeah.
yeah, and then Payne tells her, she thinks that clean teens are cool, and Shelly's like she ended it, but Payne tells her, it was brave of her. She would have joined if she didn't love sex so much. She says a joke, and then Rachel walks up saying, "Clean teens, wardrobe change. She wants back in." And then Brooke walks up with Haley saying it's like a clean teen reunion. All they need now is Chase, but he's not that clean because he appreciates the art of a dirty text. And then before she can say more,
which was funny.
Yeah, before she can say more, Bevan, grabs Brooke to dance with her to the song "Wannabe" by the Spice Girls. And eventually all the girls kind of join, but at first it was just Peyton, Haley, and Brooke and Bevan.
It's a good song.
Mm-hmm.
So it was so cute, obviously, when all the girls dancing. But here's the thing. Do you notice that it's a wardrobe continuity issue?
Yeah, everybody's mentioned this, even Joy herself.
Yep.
On Drama Queens.
Yeah,
Yep.
her shoes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because if anybody else doesn't know, they thought, she thought it would be fine because she thought it was a close-up shot, not a wide shot, so they wouldn't see her feet. But of course, it was a wide shot. So, yeah, I think that might be the most noticeable mess up in this series. Well, to me at least.
Why are you always looking at their feet?
No, I'm just saying because everybody talks about it, so I already knew about it way beforehand. But yeah.
No, I feel like there's other clear mess ups. Not this one. But it is funny. But I liked it, and what was funny was after when Lucas went to go see Skills, then Skills was over there singing it.
Yep.
I'm serious. Like, this is why you need Skills in every episode to just make you laugh.
Mm-hmm. I think it would have been more funny too if Mouth joined in with the dancing.
Yeah, it would have. But how did you like right before all the girls started dancing when it was Shelly and Rachel?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they joined in last. Because Rachel tells Shelly that she figures the clean teens don't dance much, and Shelly says please. She was doing the whole slut thing long before her and calling her a bitch, and then that's when Rachel pushes Shelly towards the other girls, and now all 6 of them are doing the dance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So at least after this season, it seems like the slut shaming slows down at least a bit. And not so casually like this, at least.
Yeah, I guess I forgot if it does.
The only thing weird to me about the dancing part is the part of the song they danced to the first chorus and not the last one. So like when they stopped dancing, it was like the song was still going, so that was kind of weird. Like you would just think you dance through the whole thing, but yeah.
Only you would point that out.
Yeah.
I guess because they didn't want them to sit there and dance for 3 minutes.
Yeah. I'm just surprised they didn't start it off with the last part of the song. But yeah. And then Lucas and Skills are inside, talking about how they start off at the River Court and now they won the state championship. And Skills says they're gonna be boys for life, even after, the distance and everything. And then, Lucas asks him if he's playing Nathan and Whitey next season, and Skills acts, broken up by it at first, but then says it's happening on December 9th at 3 p.m. and he plans to score at 3:01, 3:02, 3:03.
Okay, the fact that he knows, like, the schedule is already out and he knows exactly when he's playing them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel like you wouldn't get the schedule because it's basketball season. Again, basketball season is not the very first season.
Right.
The first one is football. So I wouldn't think that you would get the schedule for.
Right.
Because think about it. I've tried to look up basketball, or not basketball, football tickets for like Michigan and stuff. And you don't even know it's always like to be announced and stuff. So you can't even get football information right now. That's the only thing that I thought of was he has the date already
Mm-hmm.
because
And then and then he feels offended when Lucas says he's not sure if he'll be there. So he says, "Forget about the boys for life talk." And then Nathan walks up, and says for them to go see Dan, but now Lucas isn't so sure.
Yeah, he's like, why would we do that?
Mm-hmm.
Which I agree with Lucas. Like, he killed somebody,
Mm-hmm.
and not just anybody. He killed his brother.
Right.
I think out of anyone, like Lucas is the one that definitely shouldn't go because he killed his father figure.
Mm-hmm.
And then it would be up to Nathan to go or not because that was his father,
Right.
who did a lot of things for him.
Mm-hmm.
Can't forget that. But so I think Nathan is kind of like he wants to kind of go along with Lucas, but I think a part of him is like feeling guilty, like I should go see him. Because
Mm-hmm.
again, Dan has done a lot for Nathan.
Right.
So I think he's trying to please Lucas, but in his own head, he might go still see Dan.
Mm-hmm.
And he should if he wants, but Lucas definitely should. I don't even know why Lucas even thought of going.
Right.
Would you?
No.
Would you want to look at that person ever?
Mm-mm.
So I don't understand. Like I get,
Yeah.
but I don't get Lucas.
Right. And then in jail, Dana's told that it's visiting hours, but it's not with the boys, it's Karen. And she brought Lily with her. Or no, she didn't bring Lily with her. Um, but she does tell him that she has a daughter,
And her name.
you know. Yep. And that, when she's old enough, she'll ask where her dad is, who he was, and how he died. And then she's going to tell her, um, that her father loved her, and loved his younger brother very much. And that brother took her from him for the rest of her life. And he made sure that she never knew her father. And then, Dan tries talking to Karen, but she spits in the glass window in his face.
Okay, one of my favorite moments.
Mm-hmm.
I love Karen for that.
Yeah.
Also, too, for Karen, it's like the fact that Dan tried to get her back and, win
Mm-hmm.
her over and everything. And it's like, you did all of that. Like,
Yeah.
how evil can you be? Also, I want to
Mm-hmm.
know, I want to know something. When did Karen decide to believe Lucas?
Yeah, we didn't really,
It's not
we don't,
talked about.
yeah, we don't see them talk about this, like, because, even Nathan said that he was sorry he didn't believe him, but we never have that moment with Karen and Lucas, no.
Because last we knew, she was kind of defending him and then she passed out or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then she wakes up, gets out of the hospital, and goes to the grave and then goes to see Dan. And I'm like, when did you know that it's true? Because you
Right.
were on Dan's side, and Dan,
Mhm.
unless Dan said something to her.
Yeah, we didn't see her wake up, nonetheless, find out about Dan, but it had been within the 2 weeks again that we don't
Yeah, but I
see
want to know.
where she, yeah, like, was it after or before Dan, brought himself in? Who knows? But yeah, yeah, they just missed a lot of stuff that we don't see that we should
I
have.
mean, did she have a talk with Deb? And,
Mhm.
Deb said, hey, you tried to kill me. Like, I don't know, because I mean, remember he did in the
Mhm.
hospital.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised we didn't see a moment with Deb too, like being so happy that Dan's in jail, getting what he deserves, and she doesn't have to worry about him now and all that.
But yeah, I
Like
just want to know the moment that Karen realized, because
Mhm.
we got to see Deb. We got to see Deb listen to Lucas and believe him right away, but we never got that from Karen. And I wish we did, because she was the one that was, loving Dan,
Mhm.
where Deb wasn't even doing that. So I wish we would have seen Karen.
Right. And then back at the party, Bevan is drinking out of a keg upside down, but she says she doesn't even want to drink. She just wants to look at everybody because they look funny. Very Bevan-like. And then Brooke is upstairs watching them from above, and Lucas walks in and, asks her what's wrong because she doesn't look very happy. And she says she knows moving on is a good thing, but she's just scared. She's not ready for the real world. And then that's when Lucas tells Brooke, for the last few months he's been writing something, partly so he could remember it all, but then he gives her a paragraph to read out loud. And then she reads, "She was fiercely independent, Brooke Davis."
Brilliant and beautiful and brave.
Mm-hmm.
And then, in 2 years that she'd grown more than anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, and I think, the big one that everybody knows is Brooke Davis is going to change the world someday.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that.
Yeah. And Lucas tells her, she's going to do great. The world doesn't stand a chance. And then back in the ground after Shelley was complimented on her dancing by a couple of girls, of course, the guy had to ruin it by saying, "Nice skirt." Is she going to let him slide, her out of it like she did at church camp or what? And he has a name that she mentioned before, but I don't know. I don't remember it, and she doesn't mention it here, so I just call him Guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, like Mouth, someone who broke her heart from her past, her past too has shown up here tonight at the party. And then he calls her a slut when she starts walking away, and that's when Mouth comes up walking, asking the guy, what did he say? And Shelley tells Mouth it's okay. And Mouth says it's not. And then the guy tells Mouth, whatever, geek, and then pushes him, and Mouth falls to the ground. But then he gets up and punches the guy really hard in the face before he can even finish his sentence.
That
saying
was
he was
good.
going to take it easy on him. Yep. And Mouth says, "Me too." And then, so that was really big of Mouth because, Shelley really hurt him after or before the prom and everything, but yet he still defended her to this guy. And then Mouth tells Shelley, the guy's sorry. She looks great. And then a girl tells Nathan his baby's beautiful while being surrounded by a couple of other girls. And then Haley asks to have a moment with Nathan. And then she says the same girl before tells Haley like congrats, and Haley tells her thanks, calling her Reese. Wasn't Reese in like another episode before?
I don't know. I don't remember her.
The name sounded familiar, but I couldn't remember from where. But Haley then tells Nathan they need to go home because she promised them they wouldn't call, but she did, and then Deb's not answering, like nothing, like no busy signal, answer machine, or anything. So Nathan says they shouldn't freak out. Doesn't mean his mom is on top of it.
And then it was funny because she was like talking about Deb, the former drug addict, attempted murderer who dropped the loaded gun in the cafe.
Yeah, and then Nathan said, "Yeah, maybe it wouldn't hurt to check." So yeah,
it was funny.
Mm-hmm. And then elsewhere, Mouth and Shelley are sitting together, and she tells him, she thought about calling him a million times, but didn't. And then she asks if he's mad at her, and he says no. He just stayed away because she asked him to. And he mentions how she's not wearing a clean teen shirt, and she says it was time to end it. So then that means the group lasted for like, what, 3-4 months tops?
Probably.
Which is really short, really crazy.
I feel like everybody was just kind of leaving the group when they wanted. Because all of a sudden Chase is no longer in it.
Right. Yeah, so she says she's just trying to find her place. And Mel tells her, she'll always be important to him. And she hugs him, and he tells her that he likes her skirt. And then Peyton finds Brooke and asks what she's been up to, and Brooke answers flirting with Lucas as a joke. And Peyton asks how did that turn out, and Brooke says so. Love triangles are so high school.
Okay, this is what I was talking about from Dawson's Creek. Is I am so glad that the writers decided to go a different way, unlike Dawson's Creek.
Yeah.
Because remember in Dawson's Creek, Dawson and Pacey were never the same again. They can sit there and act like they're trying to be friends, but they're not friends. And in here, they're saying, like Brooke saying, that's so high school. Thank you for making the girls put
end it.
End it, put the love triangle behind them. Like, thank you, because this is what we want to see. We don't want to see them fight for the rest of their lives and never get their friendship back. We don't want that. And so, because, I do think it changed the show. I think it changed Dawson's Creek. But I'm just saying, like, here they took a different route and made the girls better than the boys and actually truly put it behind them.
Yeah.
And I love that because it's not, the show previously from them didn't do it very well.
Yeah.
They made them go on into adulthood, hating each other, and it's like, oh my god, nobody wants to see that.
Yeah, that's why I like Peyton and Brooke better as friends when they're adults. Yeah.
Me too, because it's over with. Like there's no competing, there's no jealousy, there's none of that, and that's what I love. Unlike that other one.
Yeah.
Also too, isn't it cool to like to see how the girls moved on? Because think about it, girls hold grudges. So for the girls to move past this
It's
in a
huge. Yeah.
yes, was huge. It was in a healthy way. It wasn't something like something would come up in the future and it would hurt them again, like all over again. It was nothing like that either. Like they got to a very healthy point in their lives and in their friendship, and I think that is what was nice about it. But it was nice that it was like, thank God it's over with, because watching Dawson's Creek was kind of draining because it was just so much hatred.
Yeah.
For no reason. Because again, here they did it right. I'm just saying, for the writers, they did it right. So I wonder too, for fans, when they watched it on TV, and if they were thinking like, oh my gosh, are they just saying it here and then we have to hear it every other season after, like other shows? I just wonder if that's what people are thinking of.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it could be.
Yeah.
Because think about it, some people think all the time, like they end a show acting like it's their last season, but then they come back and no, let's keep the drama going, and it's like, why? Just start some new drama. So yeah, I just wonder if people thought that.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. And then Fergie, Junk, Mouth, and Skills are on the roof, and Skills says, it's the end of an era, end of high school, and 0 girlfriends for Junk and Fergie. He did not need to call them out like that. And then Junk does defend himself, saying that his girlfriend's Canadian, and Skills knows that, so we don't see her because of that reason. And then Skills then asks, what Mouth is thinking about, and Mouth says, well, he takes the bottle that he had, and it's empty, so he spins it and makes a point at Brooke, who's on the ground. And that's when he tells the guys he'll be right back. And then with, confidence, he jumps off the roof and landed pretty smoothly too. And then at a good pace walks towards Brooke, taking a random drink from someone and drinks it on the way, which is kind of gross. But then throwing the cup on the ground before grabbing Brooke and spinning her around and, kissing her before she can say too much. And the guys on the roof cheer, of course. And Mouth tells her he always wanted to do that. And Brooke just says, okay. And Mouth says, Chase, sorry, when he goes past him, which was funny. So, yeah. That was probably definitely a moment since, season 1? Because Brooke liked, or Mouth liked him or her then.
Yeah, I think he liked her in season 2 too.
Yeah, so like a long time coming, basically.
I mean, in season 2, he thought he was going to marry her, or no, that was Brooke. So that was Brooke. Never mind.
Right. Yeah, but yeah, because Mouth was kind of going back and forth to like Gigi and then Shelly and then Gigi again, and then back and forth between them, and then kisses Brooke, which was kind of weird, but yeah. And then Chase tells Brooke that he said she can hang out, not make out, and she says, like, see what you do, what happens when you leave me alone. And then she tells him thanks for letting her say goodbye to all her friends, but he's the one that she wants to finish the night with. And then she says, how about he kisses her until she has to leave tomorrow, and he says that's a start, and then leaves her off somewhere.
And then Nathan and Haley get home.
Yep.
And Deb is just rocking Jamie.
Yeah, he's asleep.
And then it was funny because like Nathan's like, what happened to the phone? And she's like, and she says, I unplugged it. And they're like, why? She's like, because the two of you were driving us crazy.
Mhm,
And then that's
Haley
when, she goes, "The 2 of us?" And she goes,
Mhm.
and then that's when he goes, "I might have called a couple times." And then
Yeah.
so she said Nathan called 6 times, and then Haley called 8 because I guess Haley called him an obsessive parent. But
Mhm.
here's the thing, like, of course, Haley's gonna call more, she's the mom.
Yeah.
The dads wouldn't really think would call that many times because they know the
Right.
mom has it handled.
Mhm. Yeah, so it was funny when Haley was, like, laughing at Nathan for calling that many times until Deb says how many times she did, and her smile just dropped. It was funny.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is she should be glad that Nathan called that many times
Right.
because most
Yeah,
women.
so she tells right. So Deb, tells them to go back to the party. She has everything to handle there. They have the rest of their lives to worry about children. And then Haley asks Nathan if he wants to go back, and he says, yeah, but, tells her she's going to be a great mom. She already is. And that's very sexy of her. And then she kisses him and says, they don't have to go back right away. And then we see Brooke and Chase making out in
Which,
the back of
I
his
have a question.
car.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What exactly are Nathan and Haley gonna do?
I guess have sex.
They can't.
Oh yeah, it's only been 2 weeks.
There's a different time period.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
was like, because even on the river court, in order for her to get the ball, she says like she'll make it worthwhile or something. And I was
Yeah.
just like, but again, Haley, what are you gonna do? Because you
Well, I guess the only other thing she could do that I don't think I should say on here, but yeah.
yeah, don't say it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
But again, the writers just must not know.
Yeah. Probably, yeah. Especially if it was all men.
Yeah.
And then in the back of the car, Brooke's taking off her shirt and Chase, asks if he mentioned this was the best night of his life. And she says that he did say it was a night to try new things and be great, so she figured they'd do both at once. And then Chase even tells her that she's gonna change the world someday. So she says she's been told. And then Lucas and Peyton, tells Peyton that he doesn't want her to go. He says he's sorry. He's been trying to, put a good face on. And he loves her so much, but he wants her to stay. So then she says she'll
And
stay.
he's like,
And he
no, you
tells her,
won't.
yeah. So just going back and forth with this too. Yeah. So, he tells her that she's destined for greatness and then starts tomorrow morning. And Payne says it's not going to matter anyway, because whether she stays or goes, she's going to love him forever. And that will remain true, as we see later, on her end at least. And then Nathan walks up with Haley. And then, Lucas goes off with Haley. And then Peyton asks to see a picture of Jamie and telling him, like, good work when she sees him. And Nathan says he made that. Even though technically Haley was the one that grew Jamie in her belly. But yeah.
Well, they both created him.
Yeah. She just did most of the work. And then back with Chase and
Well,
Brooke.
they always say that the man gets to have the fun,
Yeah.
baby, but woman does all the work.
Mm-hmm.
It's like so true.
Yeah. And then with Chase and Brooke, Chase wants Brooke to tell him that was the greatest 60 seconds of her life. And Brooke says it was great, and he acts so great that she's going to stay. And she says it's not that great. And he suddenly feels like he's been used, but it's okay, considering he's been used by Brooke Davis. And, she said she's going to miss him. He's become such a big part of her life, and sometimes it's strange she didn't know him until now. And it was cute because he told her to put him in her heart and go see everything and then come back to him. And then, Haley tells Lucas it's sad because it just hit her today that they've been together pretty much every day of their lives and they're going to have to say goodbye soon. And she just wants him to know that she loves him. And there's a reason why her Nathan's son's middle name is Lucas. He had Keith and James is going to have him. And her and Nathan would like James's uncle Lucas to be also his godfather.
I think this is the moment that changed Lucas.
Yep. Yeah, because you can see his face when he's thinking about it.
Yep.
Yeah. And yeah, so she says she's gonna miss him, but that's when Lucas says, she's not, and then whispers in, a secret into her ear that we find out a little bit later.
Yep. I was happy that he told her first.
Me too. And then Rachel's inside spraying the end on the wall when Brooke walks up. And Rachel asks Brooke where she's been, and she says having sex, and Rachel tells her she's funny, not believing her. And then Brooke says she has something to tell her, and Turner gave it to her and tells Rachel happy graduation.
Yeah, and she goes, you told him the truth, didn't you? And she's like, maybe.
Yeah.
Yep, she did.
So it's the diploma. And Rachel says out of all the schools she got suspended from, she's glad she graduated from this one. So yeah, Rachel's parents must be really rich and have some power if she was able to go from school to school like this after being suspended from so many of them. Not expelled, which would be even worse, but yeah. And then Lucas walks out where Nathan is skipping rocks in the water. So isn't this the same location that they used in Dawson's Creek a few times?
Might be.
Because isn't that the same spot where Dawson took Jen to have their first kiss and the whole thing of videotaping it, and then Dawson's camera ends up videotaping Pacey and what's her name?
Oh,
Tamara.
Yeah, Miss Jacobs.
Yeah. And then they're there a couple other times too for other reasons. So I just realized at the end when it was the wide shot out, I could see.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah. But yeah, so Nathan says that he's been thinking about Dan, or Lucas has been thinking about Dan, somebody. Yeah, Lucas. And he asks Nathan why should they go see him? Because, all he's had was control over them since they were born. But, it's their lives now.
Yeah, that's when they have their talk.
Yeah, so, Nathan is grateful that he has his, wife and his son and, his brother. And then that's when Lucas says, a brother who's going to be his coach. So he tells Nathan Whitey offered him an assistant coaching job and he's going to take it. And yeah, Nathan asks when he decided this, and Lucas says when it was the same time when he became a godfather.
That's cute.
Yeah. So Nathan's happy that they'll be doing this together, and Lucas tells Nathan to make sure he plays well, on December 9th, because if Skills beats them, he's never going to let them hear the end of it.
That was funny. But didn't Whitey say, like, this team has never, like, won? So Lucas, yeah, he said, like, they don't have, they don't really win games.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, yeah, Lucas, you and Whitey have your hands full then if this team never wins games.
Right. And then the graduate seniors and juniors count down to midnight while the juniors are celebrating being seniors now. Brooke says, oh, high school kids, and tells her friends they should get out of there. And Bevan asks where
So
to.
they go to the river court.
Yep, he knows a place that's open all night. And yeah, they're like doing the spray paint thing like they did when Lucas was in the hospital, just making their mark. And then they play a game versus, boys versus girls. So that's when, Haley makes the comment about getting the ball from Nathan.
So on the bench is Junk and Fergie.
Yeah. And Mouse.
I was thinking, watching this, I was thinking that Junk is probably really happy that his friends finally graduated high school.
Yeah.
Because now they're on the same playing field. Because think about it, all of your friends were in high school.
Yeah.
And they finally graduated.
And then Karen is at home with Lily now, and she has a bouquet of lilies next to her and a picture of Keith. And then we have the scenes going back and forth at this point with Dan in his cell, and the kids are playing. And, Deb's with Jamie, and he has a little teddy bear that's wearing a basketball jersey with a basketball with it, which was cute. But it also shows that Nathan's already having that kind of dream for him too. And then we see, Dan try to hang himself with the flashback of when he killed Keith, but then the sheet rips and falls. He falls to the floor and he starts crying. And then back in the river court, they all, I said that right, spray painted on the ground, with the red words saying that they were there. And Brick says, they're not going to get sad. Nothing's going to change. They'll be friends forever. And Lucas says in 4 years, they'll be back.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, usually when a character says they'll be back in whatever amount of years, that never happens. At least not all of them come back.
No, usually when they say, like, nothing will change. Oh, my God. The whole nothing will change, and we'll be back.
Yeah, that's how you know they're young, Cam.
Well, that's when you know something's about to happen because you don't say that with those words. And obviously when they wrote that, they knew exactly what they were about to do. They're about to shake things up. So, I guess I listened to season 4, the finale, a long time ago for Drama Queens. Did they talk about that the writers knew that they were doing a jump?
Yeah, basically.
Did they all know or just the writers?
They didn't really specify that part, just that the writers took their time figuring out what they wanted to do. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Because you just wonder if, like, they knew exactly, like, things are about to change in Tree Hill.
Right, yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I did like how they kind of had a callback to Nathan and Lucas playing one-on-one, but it was for like a friendly match this time at least to wrap it all up together.
From the pilot to the end.
Yeah. Yep, and Mouth is even announcing like before. And then, Nathan asks if he's up for this, calling him old man, and Lucas tells him he could do this forever, calling him little brother. And then Nathan jumps to make a shot with Lucas jumping up to block him, but then it freezes right there. So like freezing that moment in time when they were young in this moment, which was nice. So yeah, and then that was it.
Yeah, again, another callback to the pilot without it being so used.
Copy and paste, yeah.
Yeah, because again, you don't have to show us a million times, but it was nice to do again.
Yeah. And then just with the River Court too, it's nice to see them all there together because at the start they were like enemies, separated. So it was nice.
Well, and it was nice because at the beginning, not everybody went to the River Court, so it's nice to see everybody there as friends. Because again, like Brooke wasn't there, Peyton wasn't hanging out with Lucas and his friends, so it was nice to see all of them as friends be in the River Court one last time.
Yeah, it went from being like the River Court boys' place to being everybody's
Everyone.
place. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
I was thinking the River Court because it was obviously there when they filmed. I wonder how many people, when they weren't filming, went to the River Court.
Probably a lot.
To like play basketball or something like they did on One Tree Hill. Like you wonder because it was a hot spot on the show. That I just wonder how many people actually went back.
Right.
Because I feel like if there was a TV show that was filming in our town, everybody would be there a lot.
Right.
Especially if it was something like the River Court where it's like kind of hidden, not out there. People would be going down there. So I'm just probably thinking for them too.
Yeah.
But then again, if we had a TV show, it'd be the first TV show ever. Where like them, they've had plenty of things filmed there. So maybe they're probably thinking, like another one.
Yeah, the closest I've seen is just a character being from Michigan, but that was it.
Who?
A character on the CW show, The 100. I don't know if you heard of it. It's like a futuristic, I can't say the word, dystopian or dystopian. There you go. World. But so he's like way from the future, but he was talking about which was funny. And it mentioned Detroit too, but yeah.
Well, what was I watching? I was watching some, I don't know, detective show. I don't know if it was NCIS. I don't know what the hell I was watching. Anyway, they were like, Michigan, and I went, what? I was so confused at why it, like, where do you get that name from?
Yeah, either they came from the same place or just like randomly picked it out from the map or something like that.
How do you pick that out on the map?
I don't know, if you zoom in a bit, maybe.
I'm like, I was so confused. I'm like, now I want to know what it was from. what show I was watching, because I literally it threw me off.
You might be able to Google it, like what character is from so and so Michigan.
What crime show
Yeah,
used it? You think that'll work?
maybe. Yeah, who knows?
Okay, I'll have to try it
Yeah.
because now it's
So,
gonna bother me.
so what's your high and low?
My high was Karen spitting at Dan, and also the river court scene at the end.
Yeah.
Everyone playing and having a good time. Because again, we don't need to see drama 24/7. So it's nice to see them be friends and just having fun. Also the dance that the girls did. My low. Do I really have a low? When they were when that guy was starting crap to Shelly.
Oh yeah.
That was inappropriate and unnecessary.
Yeah, that's my low too, and my highs are the same, and also just the fact that Dan finally turned himself in too.
So we don't have to hear about it.
Yeah, after a whole season of him, trying to get out of there, like get out of stay out of trouble and everything.
Well, because yes, I know that we're gonna hear what he did, but at least now everyone knows, and no one thinks he's innocent. So, except like we know that. So, because a whole season of him acting like he hasn't done anything wrong, but then he knows he did something wrong. It was too much. So I'm happy that now we can just say this is what he did.
Yeah. So rating.
I would rate this a 9.
Yeah, I'd say 9.5.
Hmm.
Yeah, because it could have been a good series finale too if there wasn't going to be that time jump. So I think it deserves a good high rating.
What? Oh, who's your best and worst?
Worst is Dan, just because he, you know, with Karen now she's dealing with the fact that she now knows what happened to Keith exactly, and that he was the one that did it, and she has to raise Lily alone without Keith. And Nathan and Lucas are now completely fatherless, and are deciding themselves that they should talk to Dan or not, like making him he put them in that position, because no young men should have to be, because they definitely have deserved a better father than Dan, and only Lucas got that with Keith. So yeah. Yeah, so it's really a surprise that Nathan turned out the way he did, thanks to Haley, with Dan and his influence.
Mm-hmm. Who is your best?
I couldn't really decide, but I think just Deb, just because she was the one that went to Dan to see him and tell him, you're never gonna know Lily, and Lily would know about what happened to Keith because of you and everything, and the spitting on the window and stuff.
Oh, you mean Karen?
Yeah, I meant Karen. Yeah. I mean Deb too, because she helped
You get
Nathan
one.
and Haley. Well, I'm just saying it's a close tie, because
So
she
who
did
is
help
it?
babysit Karen. I'm just saying that Deb did a lot too, as a grandma.
Um. So for me, um. So for me, the worst was that guy that was messing with Shelly. Like, I'm not a huge fan of Shelly, but I did not like the guy.
Right.
And then the best, I am going to go with Lucas. Because here's the thing. Like, he also ended that whole thing with Brooke. Like, just, it wasn't, the whole, love triangle.
Right.
I was gonna say cheating, but it wasn't really cheating. I'm gonna still stand by that. But just that whole thing was, but not good. And then, so here to end it the way he did, which is show her what he wrote about her, was nice because it's like their goodbye to each other, kind of like they can move on.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of exes can't.
Yeah.
And he, even though he wants Peyton to stay, he wants her to go.
Mm-hmm.
Which again, like Dawson trying to, like kind of forcing Joey to stay, Lucas knows she would be better to go.
Right.
And also he decided to stay and coach whatever team
Right.
Nathan's on.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna stay and basically be around for Karen and Lily and Nathan and Haley. So he's gonna be around his family helping them. So I like that. Because again, he can go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And because he wrote a novel, he probably should be in New York, probably, but he's choosing to stay back.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I think he just was kind of clearing the air with everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he chose not to go see Dan, which is good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then what would you rate this whole season for?
Out of what again? Like a 5 or like
No,
5 stars? How we do
no,
this again?
no, out of 10.
Okay. I'd say like a 9. Because yeah, the writing was a lot better than before.
Oh, I was gonna give it 8.5.
Yeah.
Do you remember the very last episode of Dawson's Creek?
Yeah.
Or season 4? It was
Oh.
so bad. Remember, I was like, why couldn't this be in the last episode?
Right.
And it was their finale, and all I kept saying was, what a bad season 4 finale it was.
Mm-hmm.
I am so glad that One Tree Hill had a really good season 4 ending
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want to say anything bad like that.
Right.
Not about a show I love.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm glad that even though they were kind of last couple episodes, they were kind of ending storylines. I'm glad that they kept this episode and just kind of let the kids have fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what they were doing.
Yeah.
But it was different. Like they were actually giving us something besides them walking around town.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Plus, I feel like I can feel that they're friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a difference between the shows. Like one, I actually feel that they're friends.
Yeah.
Like what? Like if they were walking around town, they'd probably be more fun to walk around town with.
Mm-hmm.
Than the other ones. So, but yeah, I'm just glad that this ending was really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then what was your favorite episode of season 4?
Um.
I have 2.
Okay, let me see. I think the Honey Grove episode, I would say, is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I was gonna say that my 2 were Pictures of You, which was the class assignment,
Mm-hmm.
because the kids, some of them got out of their comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was good to see.
Yeah.
And also work with people that you don't really see them hanging around.
Mm-hmm.
And then so that was one of my favorites. And then my other favorite was Honey Grove.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are my top 2.
Yeah, those were good.
Yeah, because other ones I like the storylines in them, but I don't like other storylines. So if I have to go with the one from beginning to end, those would be it.
Right.
And then what's the season 5 title?
Yeah, we'd be going to 2008 with season 5, episode 1, 4 years, 6 months, 2 days. So it's about the exact time we'll skip.
I have Cynthia. I have a question.
Yeah.
What graduating class was this?
I want to guess 2007.
Okay, so we jump in 4 years.
Yeah, so then it's basically like their class of 2003 then, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and same thing with Jamie, like he wasn't born in 2007, he was born in 2003, yeah, so pushes everything.
So, okay, so I'm going to have to watch this closely because I want to see if they ever say a year.
Right.
Because if they say the year that the show is airing, it is going to be bad because it will not make sense.
Right.
Because a 4-year jump means a 4-year jump.
That's why they probably didn't show them moving their tassels to the other side of their caps, because they didn't want to say the year because they already knew they were going to jump. So that's probably why.
Yeah, but if you look at the gravestones.
Oh, yeah, they can't.
Of Jimmy or Keith. It says like 2006 or 7, whatever time they want to put it, but it's one of those years. So if you do a time jump from one of those years, it's not going to equal out to when the show comes back.
Yeah, because it's like we come into season 5 in 2011. So yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be curious. I'm gonna be watching out for that because I want to see if they make that mistake.
Yeah.
And here's the thing too is because obviously when they started the show, they probably didn't know they were gonna do a jump. But I feel like which I think obviously would have been better if they would have known because they could have set this in 2003, then did the jump. But yeah, I'm gonna be curious to see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, they did their junior and senior years for like 2 years each, so the time jump doesn't really surprise me with how much they're doing.
Yeah. But they always like base it off of the whatchamacallit, like the year that it's playing.
Yeah, the current time, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what's gonna be interesting because well, here's the thing, like after this season, they don't do every 2 years.
Right, yeah, it's just every year like it should be, yeah.
Yeah, now we're getting into every year. Which is better. I wanted to say one more thing. So in these past 4 seasons, they had a lot of drama. And that was all in a year and a half.
Yeah.
Like, just think about that. Like, that's a lot of stuff that happened in a year and a half.
Especially for Peyton. Yeah.
That's crazy. Who would want to live in Tree Hill?
Right.
Yeah, I just thought that was entertaining too.
Yeah, I've seen people make skits of being classmates of them and being like, yeah, Peyton's my partner, but she can't be here today because of this, and Lucas can't be here because of that, and Nathan, basically seeing how they're like barely at school because they're in the hospitals or something else is going on with them. So yeah, would it be crazy?
Yeah, somebody was always in the hospital.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for listening.
Yep, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would appreciate it.